Hi there, my name is Steve Gerhardt, and this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the interlude video. Yes, we are in between seasons, so these are things that I just put up there that I hope you find fun and amusing until the season starts somewhere between mid-February and March. Now, I told you guys that I had big news about the Otaku Station that is on the Anime Archaeology YouTube site. Well, we decided to condense the title back down to Anime Archaeology as it was originally produced. And not only did we do that, but we created a new website. The link will be down below for Anime Archaeology. And you're going to discover that we have all our videos and audio files from 2025 on the website. We are going to be doing podcasts for the future, and we will be linking them to this website. Now, that's great, but there's even better news. So, let's say you're driving down the road or you want to listen to it and you have your phone on you, just have your phone on you and you just want to listen, and as you're driving or doing whatever it is that you're doing and you want to hear what we have to say about anime. Well, guess what? The podcasts are going to be on the Apple Podcasts, iTunes. They're going to be on Spotify. They're going to be on Amazon and iHeartRadio. So if you have a login over in one of those places, in those podcast places, then you can sign up and subscribe to Anime Archaeology there. Yes, isn't that awesome? So you'll be able to take this with you wherever you go. So I just wanted to share that news. I'll be referring to it over the next few weeks so I can get into your heads to go to listen to the podcasts and go to the Anime Archaeology website. We're so excited about this. You have no idea. Okay, so let's get into game day. So we're going to do 2 games today, and they're going to be long. So you can get to choose which one you want to watch. You don't have to watch both of them. One of them, of course, is going to be Genshin. We're going to be playing in Genshin today. And the other one is going to be a Choose Your Own Adventure from the first Choose Your Own Adventure book line, The Cave of Time. There you go. So, without any further ado, let's jump in. All right, we are going to do the Choose Your Own Adventure game today. And today we're going to use the first Choose Your Own Adventure book in that book line, number 1, called The Cave of Time. You're the star of the story. Choose from 40 possible endings. I don't know if you guys remember these books or not, but yeah. So last year we did this with a D&D book, D&D Choose Your Own Adventure book from the same company, by the way. And so I figured, why not do it again? So how this is going to work, for those of you who were not in on the last time, basically I'm going to read from the book, right? From the Cave of Time. And when we come to a point where we have to choose a page, you have usually between 2 and 4 choices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dice of disappointment. Yes, dice of disappointment. They are actual dice that you can find online that are used, and so they're kind of worn and all that kind of good stuff. And a whole bunch of different types in here, that kind of thing going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 12-sided die. Okay. And we're going to make our decisions off of that. So when we read and we get to the point where we have to choose which page to go to, we're going to let the dice decide. So we're going to take the dice. We're going to take the 12-sided die, and we're going to roll it into this little thing that Brent once gave me. You just drop it in, right? And it goes through, and I drop it elsewhere. So I have to go get that right now. But we'll be dropping it through here to do the die roll right in front of me, and then we'll use that die roll to choose which page to go to. So obviously, if it's only 2 choices, 1 to 6 will be the first choice, 7 to 12 will be the second choice. If it's divided by 3, you get the idea. It's math, simple math, right? All right, give me a moment while I go find the 12-sided die. Found it. Sorry about that. Let me readjust here. And yeah, let us get started. So we're gonna put the mic right here. We're gonna put the die roller kind of here. We got our 12-sided die. I explained the rules. So let us start with the first Choose Your Own Adventure book, The Cave of Time, by Edward Packard, illustrated by Paul Granger, and don't know how long this is going to take us. This might take us a short amount of time, kind of depends on the die roll, or it could take a long time. Who knows? All right, let us start The Cave of Time. Okay, so the first picture is of this, there you go, this cave that we find. Probably would help if I put my glasses on. All right. You've hiked through Snake Canyon once before while visiting your Uncle Howard at Red Creek Ranch, but you never noticed any cave entrance. It looked as though a recent rock slide has uncovered it. Though the late afternoon sun is striking the opening of the cave, the interior remains in total darkness. You step inside a few feet, trying to get an idea of how big it is. As your eyes become used to the dark, you see what looks like a tunnel ahead, dimly lit by some kind of phosphorescent material on its walls. The tunnel walls are smooth, as if they were shaped by running water. After 20 feet or so, the tunnel curves. You wonder where it leads. You venture in further. You feel nervous being alone in such a strange place. You turn and hurry out. A thunderstorm may be coming, judging by how dark it looks outside. Suddenly you realize the sun has long since set, and the landscape is lit only by the pale light of the full moon. You must have fallen asleep and woken up hours later. But then you remember something even more strange. Just last evening, the moon was only a slim crescent in the sky. You wonder how long you've been in the cave. You're not hungry. You don't feel you have been sleeping. You wonder whether to try walk back home by moonlight, or whether to wait for dawn rather than risk losing your footing on the steep and rocky trail. Okay, so we have the first choice. It's two of them. So the first choice is, if you decide to start back home, turn to page 4. If you decide to wait, turn to page 5. So we shall roll the die. And we have an 8. So what that means is that we're going to wait. We're going to decide to wait. So we're going to go to page 5. You wait until morning, but as the rosy wisps of dawn begin to light the eastern sky, a chill and forbidding wind begins to blow. We already have another choice, 2 of them. If you seek shelter, turn to page 6. If you brave the freezing wind to see more of the world about you, turn to page 16. All right, let us roll the die again. We have 12, so we will brave the freezing wind to see more of the world about us. Page 16. All right. You resolutely trudge along a rocky ridge. It has been cleared of whirling snow by the fierce wind, which bites and blows against your body. The world seems transformed and much for the worse. You must find a house or a cabin, people who can help you, or you will die. As you ponder your fate, oh dear Lord, you stumble and fall, plunging into a deep crevasse. You black out and later awaken, but still shivering in a warmer place at least. By the dim amber light, you can see that somehow you have fallen back into one of the chambers in the Cave of Time. A passageway leads to the right, another to the left. Does one lead to the future, and one lead to the past? So, clearly we're going to choose. Because that's what we do here. All right. We got a 4 this time. So, we're going to enter the left-hand passageway. Turn to page 24. You follow the left passageway. It leads upwards to the surface. Below you, a grassy meadow slopes down to a clear, fast-flowing stream. Beyond it are pine-covered foothills stretching in the distance toward snow-covered peaks. You might be in Wyoming in your own time, but whatever time it is, the world you see appears to be a hospitable one. You notice or heard a buffalo grazing, but nowhere can you see a house or fence or road or any sign of human presence. Is it possible you are living hundreds, perhaps thousands of years ago? You gaze upward. One of the puffy white cumulus clouds is moving in a strange fashion. It is descending. A spaceship is landing right before your eyes, only a few hundred yards away. Do you hide from view? Or do we go up into the spaceship? We're going up into the spaceship. All right. 40. You cautiously approach the spaceship and, to your amazement, see that it is resting a foot or so above the ground, without any visible mechanism keeping it aloft. There are no engines, rocket exhausts, portholes, landing gear, antenna, or any equipment you might imagine a spaceship would need. You realize it must be the product of a supremely advanced civilization. Trusting that such people have learned to be loving towards each other, you approach the ship. A portal slides open, and all you can see within is shimmering blue light. A large cube is thrust out through the portal and lowered to the ground by mechanical arms. The top of the cube is withdrawn, leaving a pallet on which lie the sleeping forms of 3 men and 3 women, dressed in shrouds of animal skin. Their bodies and features remind you of pictures you have seen depicting the earliest men on Earth. You have an impulse to jump aboard the spaceship before the portal closes. Do we jump on the ship or not? So those are our choices. We jump on the ship. Page 115. Where are you? Here we go. Okay. You jump aboard and find yourself in a sealed chamber. The walls surrounding you remind you of the inside of a bathtub. It occurs to you that the beings who control the spaceship have some means of manipulating time. Could it be that the Cave of Time is their creation? As you are thinking these thoughts, you become increasingly drowsy. In a moment, you are asleep. Oh dear. You awaken in darkness, wondering if you may be traveling through space in the alien ship. There's a light coming towards you from one direction, and you get up and you walk towards it. Don't walk towards the light. Then you realize you are looking through the opening of your cave. You hurry out and, to your joy, find Snake Canyon just as you remember it. You are back in your own time. It's a long while before you feel like visiting Snake Canyon again. When you do, you find the opening to the Cave of Time has been covered over by a massive rock slide, and you think to yourself, that may be just as well. So, there we go. There's your adventure. Choose your own adventure. Now, obviously, there are different endings in this one, and in the future, if we decide to do this again, I'm sure we'll come up with a different ending. But so basically, to summarize, we found a cave that wasn't there before, walked into it, somehow transported in time, somewhere all along the way, come back out, probably before Neanderthal times, and we see a spaceship land, and we see basically these people in the animal skins. So these might be the first humans, and they came from space. We don't know. We'll never know. And so we go back into the cave, or we jump onto the ship to explore more, see if we can find ET or whatever. And I don't know if you can hear the sirens. They're not coming after me. I haven't done anything this week, I don't think. So yeah, so we jump onto the ship thinking we're going to maybe find ET or something, and because we automatically assume that, supreme advanced civilizations are automatically loving. Sure, why not? That's very optimistic, I think. And then we go to sleep because the aliens are probably going, no, we don't need this. What's going on here? No. Send him back to his own time. Place our butt back into the cave, and we come back to the real world, and we discover that there's a rock slide. Probably the aliens covered it up, and we're just like, yeah, okay, we don't need to do this again. So, in the future, if we decide to do another Choose Your Adventure, if it looks like we're going in that direction again, I will stop and start over if we decide to do this again. But this has been The Cave of Time, the first one in the Choose Your Own Adventure series, where you too can be the star of the story and choose from 40 possible endings. There you go. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to do one of these again, let me know down below. If you would rather do a Dungeons & Dragons one, I have another book, or we can do the same old book. Or we can do Cave of Time again if you like. Just let me know. All right. Congratulations. We did an adventure. All Alright, we're going to play some Genshin Impact. For those of you who have never played Genshin Impact, this is an open world game. You can pretty much have free movement around the world such as it is. There are quests and dailies and big story quests that you can do. And sometimes when you just kind of you just need to grind for your characters and things like that. So I kind of need to do that today. I've already done my dailies. I've done most of the big stories and Archon quests. Archon quest is the big overarching storyline throughout the game. And today I think I just need some Mora. Mora is money. It's the literally the coin of the realm. And so I need some. And so for today, I'm going to grind. You get 200 points a day to grind in a 24-hour period to use to level up your characters, do what's called the ley lines, which is what I'm going to do today, or you can get a domains to get things, or you can go up against bosses and get other advancement materials and things like that. But I think I'm just going to show you the money stuff today, the Mora ley lines, and they're gold balls, and so they're on a wide map, and you go there, and then you fight the things and you unalive the things and you get the Mora and you get money out of it, and then you go on to the next one. So I figure we'll do 3, and the way we're going to start this is we're going to start in the city of Liwa, which is a beautiful city. I love this area of the game, and we're going to teleport to the first, because there's a bunch of waypoints all over the place. We're going to teleport to the first Mora ley line, which is a gold ball, and then we're just going to walk on foot to the next 2. All right, so that'll be the gameplay you see today. If you want to skip this is fine. We've got the other game going on, which is, of course, the Cave of Time, Choose Your Own Adventure, which we'll be playing with dice to make our choices with. So if you haven't watched that one, you can go ahead and watch that one as well if you don't want to do this. Cool. But yes, let us start. Let us get into Genshin Impact and make some money.
Installation chamber deployed. Ultimatum protocol.
Alright, so that was the Genshin gameplay right there. That's what it looks like to grind for some money. So yeah, you go to the places, you hit the button you need to hit, you fight the monsters, and you get the gold, the Mora. And so that's kind of what it looks like to grind a little bit. Now, granted, I was in Liyue and that region, so it's one of the more older regions in the game. So if you're just starting, this will be the second region you come to. And so when you use a very overpowered team like I had there, most of the characters came from Nodcry, one from Mondstadt, that was Jean. And they're very much overpowered. They're all 90 levels, etc., so forth and so on. So if it looked like it was easy, it was because of the overpowered characters I have. When you first start playing the game, it's going to be more challenging because of the characters that you have, and how far you're going to be able to advance them before you go against these monsters. So some of these monsters are going to be very, very challenging when you first start the game. So just wanted to explain that a little bit there. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you haven't watched the Cave of Time choose your own adventure game that I did, please go ahead and watch that. If not, then great. And that's it for this week. That's it for game day. Again, I hope to see you guys over on the Anime Archaeology website and watching the new podcasts and seeing the old stuff on there. And we're just so excited about this. So please check the link down below. All right, guys, I will see you next time. So be healthy, because I love you guys and I want to see you out in the wild. And as always, watch more anime.